Alright, what is going on everyone? How y'all doing? So, before we go ahead and get on into the video, I did actually have to get 80 crafting, which is kind of annoying. I was at 77, but the method that we're going to be doing today will be, we'll be making a little bit of money doing something based off of a recent update. Now, I guess not update, I guess it's an update as far as the game's concerned, but it's not like a Jagex official update. So, I guess we haven't done the intro. How's everyone doing? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. The whole deal. But today we're here with a video on how I found a pretty weird way to make a little bit of money. So we'll go ahead and check out the bank. I don't know how often I'll plan on doing these videos. I know I just did one like a little bit ago, but I mean, as long as I find methods like these, I'm going to show you guys because it's pretty fucking cool, I think. But let's go ahead and look. So recently, and I think this is where it's all stemming from, SparkMac has, like, you know, he got a ton of money at the Duel Arena, but the dude went out and then bought a ton of Dragonstones, like a ton. And that can be shown simply by just buying and selling on the Dragonstone, and you guys can see what the margin is. Like, it's just fucking ridiculous. Like, 22k to buy one, let alone, oh, what the hell, 1.6k margin just on Dragonstones. That's crazy enough. But then if we go ahead and look and see what a Dragonstone cut sells on for, it's not even that expensive. So 18.4k, as you guys can see here, not too shabby at all. 17.6. Now that's what we're going to be looking more towards. This has gone up a lot recently, but I'm going to make sure the margin is still here. So yeah, basically the margin that I was seeing yesterday, and it was actually higher last night, which is kind of annoying, but as you guys can see, we have Dragonstones that we can buy for this price. Now, if I go ahead and look over on GE Tracker, you guys won't see this, however, I will. The amount bought and sold an hour is decently high. So now if we go ahead and look at the glories, basically this is going to tell us how much money we may actually be able to make doing this method. So as you can see, they bought for 19k right there, which means that we can make a little bit of money doing this. So as you can see, Dragonstone's right there, and then what the price will be able to sell in the glory for, that's a 1.4k margin, and that's just by making glories really, which is not too hard of a thing to do. So that's what I think I'm going to go ahead and try to do today. I'm going to go ahead and try to buy 1,000. I think 1,000 may be a little over the top. I don't know if I'll be able to get all 1,000, but maybe if we get a few hundred, I'll go ahead and show you guys this method. So I'm going to leave that offer in. We'll see how it goes, and I'll be back here in a second. Here we are, a little while later. Went ahead and got something to eat, but as you guys can see, the bigger deal here, we ended up buying 224 Dragonstones. I probably got undercut at some point, so I could have gotten more if I would have been here, but the real part of the video comes with this. So we end up having almost 4 mil, I guess, in total with cost, although being exactly right will be definitely the difference. So now I think what you need to go ahead and combine them is a ball of wool. What's up? So now the real actual like time exertion comes, because I gotta go ahead and add up what all we have here. So as you guys can see, I mean, the supplies isn't all that much. We can sell this back, so we don't need to even factor that. But as you guys can see, 16k plus another 7, 23, so that's not bad. I guess you round up 24k, and then you go ahead and add on all that. We also have to remember this. I'll give you guys what that number is.
One eternity later.
And the total amount that we ended up spending on all this is in the chat right now, so 39,85,000 is pretty much about it. So now what we have to do is we have to actually go on over to your local furnace. I don't think you need a smithing level for this, do you? That's quite weird. I think it's just use a furnace, but it's crafting at 80, which I think is a little different. Maybe I'm wrong on that, and maybe this entire video could just be done here in a second when I don't have the smithing level to do it. But yeah, I guess for some reason it is crafting, which is quite weird. But alright, so here we are. This is the furnace that I will be using. We'll pretty much be running with an inventory setup, as you will see here in a second. So we'll be doing 1 amulet mold, 13 gold bars, and 13 dragonstones. So now I'm going to go ahead, now I'm going to go ahead, see how long it takes me to actually do this entire inventory of just smelting them, and then we'll come back to do kind of the ending part, I guess. So this is, it was a little weird. I finished off doing the 225 of them, I believe, with this inventory, which is pretty sick, you know, 225 done. The main thing that I was going to sell this video on was just going to be money making, and I was pretty, like, I wasn't disappointed with the amount of time that it would take me, but I've realized this isn't bad as far as actual XP. I was here for 11 minutes and got 33.3k crafting XP. So on top of that, now we are going to get a little bit more XP, and what we're going to have to do is take out these balls of wool and the Dragonstone amulets and then connect them as such. As you guys can see, then we just go and make all. But for testing purposes, I will go ahead and figure out how much time this takes you. Happy birthday, Faith! fam? Alright, sorry. We'll go back on into the video. And there we go. Another 6 minutes later, we end up finishing off all of this. Now, the problem is, right now, they're only Dragonstone amulets. You do actually have to do something to make them into regular glories, and that's enchanting them. Now, there are two different ways to go about this, and I'm really interested to see which one's better. Let's see what happens with this. You should use the tablet on a piece of Dragonstone. Ah, okay. So as we can see here, they bought for 497. It's definitely going to be less just to use said spell and then do it from there. So level 5 enchant should be around here. Yeah, there we go. So I think a mud staff and then, a mud staff and cosmic should be pretty easy. Alright, so now that we got it sorted out, time to go ahead and do a little bit of magic, so I'll see how long this takes me as well, and see how much XP we get. Here we go, finishing off the inventories, I guess, so not too bad. I mean, in total, we did actually end up spending a little bit extra money that I forgot I had to spend in the cosmics, but that's fine. It took us 7 minutes to go ahead and complete all that, so I'm going to go ahead, see what all we have ended up spending, and we'll go ahead and see what the cost of this was. Alright, so now time to go ahead and see what this is all actually worth. So I will go ahead and tell you right now that we ended up spending $3,985 on the total initial cost. But on top of that, we do have 225 cosmics that we have to account for, taking us up to a total of 4,010,000. Now if we go ahead and sell off the 225 glories that we have for 19,000, which is their current price, as you guys can see, that'd be a 265k profit. Now you guys are probably wondering how long did this take me? It took me about 23 minutes to do that. Now if we go ahead and look at how much money that is per hour, that's almost 700k, which is actually pretty impressive considering this is almost a skilling method too. A lot of people do glass blowing for crafting XP considering it's really cheap, and that gets you even less XP per hour. Basically what I found with this method, even including the time to actually string them and cast the magic spells to go ahead and be able to sell them off as glories, you were still able to get 89,000 XP per hour with your glories alone. Now considering that as well, if you do this method, assuming that all of your times are equal, you still will be getting about 44,000 magic XP per hour, which is really impressive to say that a method can make you 700k, you can get 90k crafting XP, and 45k magic XP all within an hour's time. Now these things do take a little bit to buy. I mean, obviously that took me some time. It wasn't a whole lot though, considering that like the little bit of time that it took me to buy those supplies you with a half an hour of actual gameplay. I'd say it's actually reasonable to keep this as a method itself. A lot of things like within the game can die after being told to people, but there are a lot of other alternatives that you guys can go with this. There are so many different ways. This is just one example, and that's what I want to really promote with these videos that I do, these one-offs, is not to necessarily send everyone to Dragonstone amulets. Then that will be overdoing it. Basically what these methods are meant to do, I'm sure you guys have all heard that wise story of teach a man to fish and he'll like live for he'll eat for his entire life. You know, you give him a fish, he lives for a day. That's what this is about. If I just tell you this method, obviously it's not going to have a great effect right now, but other things will, so check them out. Also, Dragonstones have had this in the past, so I'd imagine a little while after this video they will be good again, so feel free to check them out. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like. If you guys enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe. Anything you want to go ahead and tell me about, comment that down below. Also be streaming live on Twitch in the future, not today because I'm not feeling too great, but you know, we'll probably be up there tomorrow, so feel free to hit that up in the description as well. But with that said, I hope